So, for those of you who saw the popular video by Trey the Explainer, 10 Changes Made to the Bible, part 1 of 2. And in this video, Trey the Explainer, if that's what his name is, makes a few misstatements and invalid assessments that are not factually substantiated. The first of these is he makes a claim that he grew up in some kind of a Southern Baptist setting, and that may be true, and that in this setting he was taught that every comma and every period of his English translation was going to be preserved, and that's what God promised. And the truth of the matter is that that's not what God promised. That's not what Jesus promised. What Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5, in verses 17 and 18, is that not one jot or tittle of the Torah shall pass till all be fulfilled. And this was a specific reference to the Hebrew Torah. And the jot and the tittle are referring to the smaller letters and or, for example, the letter Yud, which is a very small letter, and or the portions of the letters would be preserved as they have been. Okay, so the second claim is that, according to Trey the Explainer, is that Jesus more than likely spoke Aramaic. This, of course, was not true either, because educated Jews were known to have spoken Hebrew. Okay, this is evident by Josephus's writings, 66 to 70 AD, and this is evident by the New Testament's testimony, or the renewed covenant, whatever you wish to call it, testimony in and of itself. For example, when Nicodemus in John chapter 3 came to Jesus, and he said to him, "Rabbi, we know you are a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that you do except God be with him." He refers to Jesus as rabbi as a term denoting somebody of highly intellectual and an educational background. Okay? Also, it is quite known that Hebrew was the lingua franca amongst the Jews, even though Greek was the common language of everybody else in the Mediterranean world. Of course, the Jews spoke Greek as well, in order, obviously, for purposes of commerce and economic reasons and trade, etc., and the intermeshing of some of the cultures where the interaction took place. But the Jewish communities, make no mistake about it, spoke Hebrew. Okay? And Aramaic is, in fact, the sister language of Hebrew anyway. They're both Semitic tongues. They have almost identical root words to some of their basic language and their vocabulary. Okay, so Jesus spoke Hebrew, not Aramaic. Okay, third issue, or third point we want to make, is the LXX, as he calls it, the Septuagint, which actually, folks, is the Greek translation of the Hebrew Torah, or what some would call the Hebrew Old Testament, or it should be called the Tanakh. Okay, the LXX is not the oldest available manuscript of what is called the Old Testament. How do we know this? Well, we know that Aquila was the earliest amender and translator, and his manuscript and his work is the earliest dated, known, available translation of the Greek Torah, and that date is 126 AD. However, we have other manuscript evidence that predates that. For example, the findings of the manuscripts of the Salt Sea, or what most people call the Dead Sea, much earlier than that, and go way back to as early as 250 BC. So here again, Trey the Explainer should probably delve a little more into the facts before he begins to present these thoughts on video. But other than that, everybody have a blessed day.